All right. Hello. I was gonna say, Do you actually know that? I haven't watched the video yet, but there is a stream where Nick Mullen hangs out with Sam Hyde. Yeah, I haven't. All I know about I was because I was watching Cumtown. They on their YouTube channel. What's it? Steven Seagal, and they're like live streaming. I don't know if it's their channel or not. I don't know what the deal is. I think it is, but they're like live streaming old episodes and things like that. Because from what I understand, the show is nearly over because one of their guys wants to leave. The He has left. Yeah, it's the guy with the super annoying laugh that really annoys me. But I don't know what they're going to. Apparently, they're going to continue in some way because I mean the podcast is really successful. But yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool as. Well, Nick Mullen goes and hangs out with Sam Hyde, and yeah, but he doesn't. He's not on the podcast. Not on Perfect Guy Life or anything like that. He They just make a video together or something. Yeah, I shared you my screen. EKA. No, I don't know. What is it? Maybe I did watch it. I usually I usually keep up with that stuff, but yeah, yeah. But before we get into that, Sam Hyde's fight is coming up soon too. It's just been officially announced. So he's fighting that guy who plays the violin while huge booty chicks twerk and stuff. What's it? I am Thompson. Yeah. No. No. Okay. Yeah. Well, he says in I can't remember what. That's funny. He said that I watched some other podcast he's on because he's going to do his character's going to be the Candy Man, which is already an amazing character. Yeah, and he said that he had his like outfit is being made by some woman who makes dog clothes or something like that. And yeah, yeah. Oh, I did watch that then. Yeah. Um, and that's he said that it's going to have all these crazy slogans and like all this stuff all over it. And but then and right at the end, hopefully he's going to win, and then he's going to like challenge Hassan Piker straight afterwards. So that'll be awesome. Yeah, yeah. Well, he already offered him $2 million worth of Bitcoin, which I mean that was a while ago, so it's probably only worth about you know $1 million worth of Bitcoin now. But it, at the time, like all for charity. I know Hassan's just scared. Yeah, yeah. Well, look, yeah. To be honest, though, I gained 1 millimeter of respect for Hassan last week when he debated Andrew Tate and totally BTFO'd him, which was hilarious. Like, dude, if you're getting like roasted by Hassan, you must be like that R word I can't say. No, I can't. No, I fuck it. I can say it. You must be retarded. No, no, I don't care anyway. Say it all. I wasn't born black to not be able to say these words. No, I'm just kidding. Um, Great way of putting it. Blue balls on the brain. That's what they call, brain fog. It's actually just your brain having blue balls. It's like the same thing. Hmm. Okay. Do you want to? All right. Should we jump into these articles then? All right. Okay. So it has actually been a fantastic week for gaming cringe. So we're spoiled for choice here. I've got a few articles for us to go through, but first of all, the first one that happened was Kotaku and doing what everyone loves the most. Yeah, your boy Kotaku. So this new game is out called Stray, where you play as a cat, and obviously that vibe alone is just get everyone so pumped for this game. To be honest, when this game was announced, I wasn't really that excited. I was just like, you're a cat, and it doesn't like there's any combat or anything. You just sort of explore. So either way, I'm a rainy. Oh, I don't remember that game. Okay, you can't remember what the game was called or anything like that. Yeah, I think you're right. Um, well, I mean, look, I enjoyed games like what's it called? Okumi, Okami. When you play as the wolf, and Okamis. Yeah, right. Yeah, so look, I don't mind. I don't mind a bit of fairy simulator every now and then, but yeah. Either way, we're going. We're embarking on a big side quest here. Mm. Oh, okay. Oh god, listen to him. Yeah. So anyway, Kotaku has done what they do best, and here we have this article from their website. Stray falls into the usual Orientalism pitfalls of the cyberpunk genre. Now, cool, just what we wanted. More ways to make us feel guilty about enjoying a game. Like, what is wrong with these people, man? I feel like this is, and maybe you'll agree with me on this, but I feel like this company is just trying all they can to stay relevant. Like, no one would ever talk about Kotaku as a decent source unless they were like making cringy articles and stuff that's the only way they get attention. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so okay. Who wrote this one? CC Zhang. Okay. Right. Well, here we go. Straight. Look, Percy, if you've ever felt uncomfortable about the rice paddy hats in Stray, you aren't the only one. It's like it's so. Is this all over just a fucking hat? Like just because you can wear that? Well, they have that typical Chinese, the hat, right? So sort of round hat with the point. But don't they actually wear those hats like legitimately? Like I don't. I don't. What's. It's so. Yeah. Yeah. So but so is that all this is over? Just like some stupid hat? Like how pathetic is that? Like, well, that's what they say here. Well, it sort of does say that. Yeah, the cyberpunk genre. So they're saying that it's all about this Orientalism. But like, there's here Stray lifts Asian aesthetics to evoke exoticism. That's a new one. I've never heard that one before. And danger, but it doesn't engage with the history of the city it appropriates. Isn't it like a fucking fictional city? Like they sort of that whenever they have it's based on like Hong Kong or something, right? But then it's supposed to be like an alternate reality. Why do you have to? Why does everything have to be historically accurate and all that kind of stuff? It's not the point of the game. You're not reading a history book. Yeah, we just want to grill, man. Like, what's the problem? It's just and then so this is their favorite word here. This is especially problematic because of its real world setting that carries painful historical baggage. Yeah, I mean, like Hong Kong are being sort of tyrannized at the moment, sure, but I don't really see the where do they say in this article? Like, where are they speaking out against China in this article? I'm not like they're just trying to attack these bloody game developers who are trying to, yeah, like you said, try to give a bit of escapism. It's ridiculous. So what else we got here? You play as a and the main aesthetic is that you're a fucking cat. What the fuck? Like, why are you? It's not like you're fighting a tyrannical. Well, I don't know. I haven't played the game myself, but I don't think you're fighting like a tyrannical government kind of thing. You're just like a cat going on an adventure. Like, it's it's so weird to bring up all of these like stupid points. Oh, see, look at this. Okay, this paragraph here it's saying, uh, the walled city was originally a Qing dynasty era military base and became a secret on blah blah blah. Hong Kong, China was weakened by Sino-Japanese War, blah blah wars. Great Britain, like look, why are they like coming here with a history lesson for us? Isn't it just supposed to be like a fun game where you get to play as a cat? Like, stop it. They just gotta fucking stop this bullshit. And then, oh, so look, they go on all this shit here about the history and colonialism or something, but then it all comes back here to the conical rice hats. It's like, so what? So what? Who cares? And then, uh, what else? Something about a racist parody of a laundry business. I mean, I'm sure they have laundry businesses in Hong Kong. Um, gratuitous use of the Japanese language in fictional Hong Kong. Oh no. Hmm. Yeah. I think you're right. They are. They're always just thinking like, oh, white man sets game in Asian city, therefore it must be racist, and then they work backwards and try and find anything they can. And but like, look, that why can't you set a game in a different setting? Look, man. If you want to, this is just my advice to any game developer. Is like, if you're ever going to make a game, make it a completely fictional city. Don't even mention what city it's going to be, like what it's based on or anything like that. Don't even bother. Just say it's completely out of my imagination. And then you can make it as racist as you want. Yeah. Mm. And so, of course, the big irony too is like this is from a website that calls itself Kotaku. Is that not kind of appropriating Asian like Japanese culture, right? Like that's yeah, yeah. What? Mm. See, even here, like classic comment. Anyone's free to feel insulted, whatever. But as an Asian American living in a third world country, really think this criticism is stretching a bit. Mm. Yeah. So look, yeah. No worries. We'll forgive how retarded you are this once. Okay. Okay. You keep saying it like it's like uranium, like it's a chemical, like an element or something. Isn't it Pomeranian with an N? Okay. Anyway, so I mean, like we've sort of said all we need to say on this. Kotaku is cringe. We already knew that, but yeah, just them trying to grasp at any kind of racism they can make money off. So we'll move on to the next one now. I have the next one I have here is oh no, it's this one here. So I mentioned this to you the other day that it seems that teabagging is being banned from esports. So, so So basically, well, Riot has just recently banned two Valorant players, and this wasn't even for doing teabagging. This was just for discussing it. But to sort of, I have this older article here, which sort of sets the scene. Which was so about this was like two weeks ago or something like that. So Apex Legends team have been banned from a tournament after a player teabagged his own teammate who got killed too fast or something like that. And then basically, so this guy got so he was just doing that, just kind of being funny with his teammate, like just sort of making fun of each other, and they banned him. Well, they actually banned the whole team because they said here that the admin stated that the tournament was trying to create a safe space for all gamers, and that players couldn't expect to come into a professional tournament and teabag opponents. And it's like, oh my god, like how cringe is that? Like, what about when you watch like professional sports and like I don't know, LeBron James like dunks, like jumps over a dude and like dunks and then just like gets in his face, like, showboating or something. Are we gonna? That's not banned. Like people celebrating, scoring goals and stuff, getting in people's faces. Like you're allowed to do that shit. You're allowed to sledge. You're allowed to sledge people on the court and all that. I know. It's just well, that's it. They were just trying to have fun with his own teammate. He didn't even do it to another person, like an opponent. He wasn't trying to shame someone or anything like that. It was just a joke with his friend. But then they banned him. So but then he explained that, and then they pretty much said no, it's about sportsmanship. You can't go into any organized sport. Well, okay, look. Already calling yourself a sport? You're lucky. You're lucky to be considered a sport. For what? Trying to look, but they're trying to make it seem like they're trying to make it like it seem all grandiose, like like it's just some big important thing. Like, look at us, we're professional sportsmen here, and you want to do that? That's just wrong. Hmm. Oh yeah, of course. But then yeah, they're saying toxic. They're trying to get rid of toxicity in video games, and yeah. So whatever. That's this team, this Apex Legend team got banned. So that was a few weeks ago. But now we have another one. So Riot has now banned, well, and also doxed. They actually doxed the people that did this too, from what I understand. They banned two players, two professional Valorant players, over a heated teabagging dispute. So what actually happened was there is there was a there's a Discord channel here called Galorants. So it's this isn't even over a teabag. This is over a discussion of teabagging, right? So on this Galorant's Discord, so it says a community set up to elevate women and non-binary Valorant players. Cool. Some say, but yeah. And so it says here that a member in the Discord, says referred to as Player A in Riot's ruling, posted a message equating teabagging someone in game to sexual assault. And so essentially, these two players that were banned, well, they disagreed. They said that is absolutely absurd to equate teabagging on a digital game to literal sexual assault. And so they basically were just angry about that, had a rage, and pretty much just said, like, I think they said some mean, rude words or something like that. And yeah, because well, that's actually what they get banned for. Ultimately, apparently, that's hate speech. And so, okay, well, it says here that they actually created multiple Twitter posts specifically aimed at this person. But then, yeah, I mean, look, it's a community. You should be able to talk about, discuss these kind of things. And if you disagree with someone, look, I think you should be allowed to. That's what Twitter's for, man. Twitter is for starting fights with people, like, as far as I see it. And so it says their responses included a vulgar and targeted remark. I don't know. Don't you think that, like, kind of diminishing people's experience of sexual assault by equating it to teabagging is a bit vulgar and offensive? Yeah. So, and so now these, basically, just because they disagree with that. And look, she even says here that Dawn, one of the girls banned, said, I have friends that have literally been raped. I've watched sexual assault happen in broad daylight. It's not something that you can compare to crouching in a video game. And so, yeah, look, man, they're totally right on this. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous that Riot did this, that they've banned them for that. It's teabag, man. Look, the reality is when you crouch in a video game over someone, you're not literally sticking your balls in their mouth. It's not actually teabagging, right? Well, it depends what game you're playing, but but like, yeah, exactly. It's just kind of so what in what way is it sexual, and what way would it even be considered sexual then, if we're being literal about this? Like, because I don't think you could ever go as far as saying it was sexual. All you could ever really say is maybe it's disrespectful, like, because you're just kind of uh you're shaming someone for losing or getting owned by you or whatever, right? So I don't. It never crosses, just because the name of it is in reference to a sexual thing. I don't understand how it's not sexual assault. It's got nothing to do with it. If anything, it's just an analog to say you suck. So I don't really. It's just totally absurd to even make that claim in the first place. And these two Valorant players were 100% right to say what they thought about it, and I think they're totally correct in this. And Riot is a piece of shit. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, standard. I know. Well, they would say that that's sexual assault too. Words of violence. Yeah, well, that's you're not actually allowed. I don't think you're allowed to sledge people in esports at all anymore because I mean, when I don't know about you, but when I watched a little bit of esports back in the day, like when it kind of was starting out, and it was more reminiscent of the gaming I was used to. So people would be like making fun of each other, talking shit, like all that kind of stuff. But then as it got more and more popular and mainstream, of course, they just get rid of all of the good stuff that makes it fun and, and then they've sort of censored it into this just kind of dull, boring, you know. So yeah, look, that's just what's going to happen whenever it gets more popular. But look, it's a recurring theme on this show that we need like a chart of the most scummy gaming company in the world. And this is another point in favor of Riot. Mm. Mm, mm. Yeah, yeah. I actually I really agree with that. Like nothing wrong with talking shit and everything, but when the game is over, it's GG, right? It's yeah, yeah. It's yeah. That I don't know. I think maybe just a lot of these people have never actually played sports and like how you like chat shit with people on the field and stuff like that. Like yeah, it makes sense. These are all computer nerds. All right, all right, all right. Okay, I got another article here. I have two more articles actually. So I almost debated whether or not I should include this one or not because I think people might actually be overreacting on this. So the talk is that the new Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be woke. Like that's what a lot of people are saying, but I don't know. I'm not I want to wait. I don't want to be the first one to jump on this and be like, they're going to get woke, they're going to go broke, all that kind of shit. But I need to wait and see more from the game because yeah, yeah. So the reason why the reason why people are reeing already is because the the main character is going to be a Latina woman, and well, there's like I think there's a non-binary character as well or something, and you know, well, so but again, what they have released is very vague and all that stuff, and so I think maybe people are jumping on the bandwagon a little too fast in this situation. I think maybe it will be kind of cringe. There might be some kind of cringy stuff to it, but doesn't necessarily mean it'll be a bad game. I mean, GTA 5 was possibly one of the best games of all time when you consider like they still make content for it. Like that there's something to be said about that, man. Like and all the classic GTA games were amazing. Both Red Dead Redemption games are excellent. There's, they've done a lot of good stuff. Oh, bro, you should. It's actually really good. Yeah. Oh, okay. Look. I gotta. I don't want to straw man them either, though. There is a bit more to it than that, but again, I think that the issue is that it's hard to know. You don't know why they made that decision. Like, if the decision was because someone in the boardroom was like, we have to do a woman, blah, like, because diversity, like, if it's some shit like that, then of course I'm against it. But there's nothing wrong with writing a female character who is a mass murderer, like, you know. Yeah. Well, I yeah. I mean, that's actually what I hope, is that she's one of multiple characters, because okay, one thing that's gonna like be a bit annoying is that, well, in GTA you can just kind of start a fight with anyone on the street and like beat them to death, and that's a little bit less believable when you're a woman. Like, let's be real. Like, generally, a woman has to be like an MMA fighter to stand a chance against most dudes. So like, it's no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so it if if she's just as strong as the dudes from any other game and she can just beat the shit out of someone by hand, that's a little bit, you know, that world breaking, right? Like, I do find that a bit inaccurate. She needs to be more weapon focused, and that's, see, because this is a criticism I'd raise at a lot of movies. You watch like these female superhero movies or whatever. Okay, superhero is not a good idea. Good because they're superheroes, obviously. But like, when any movie where it's like some chick and she's like beating the shit out of all these dudes, it's a lot of the time it's just inaccurate. And I mean, like, you can say a movie, oh, it's not supposed to be real, but like, we want it to be as real as possible. And so, whenever you do a female character in a movie, the best thing you can do is make her the weapons expert, because guns are the great leveler. You don't Women could be just as dangerous with weapons, but when it comes to physical combat, they're naturally disadvantaged. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. See, again, that's a whole nother episode, my dude. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Okay, but anyway, so that's the preface, but let's get into actually some of the criticism, why people actually think this is a valid thing to say. This article was amazing because literally the first line here: in the summer of 2020, after a police officer killed George Floyd. Like, what a way to start this article about Grand Theft Auto, right? You see, they just straight out with it. I know, like that. See, this is why people's hopes are really low, and this, this is why people are expecting this to be woke, because they're already starting like this, and this is Bloomberg. Um, but anyway, they're talking about how they had a play mode in Grand Theft Auto Online called Cops and Crooks. So cops and robbers, kind of thing. Good guys, bad guys. It's just a mini game. It's because I don't know if you've played. Yeah, you haven't played it. In the online game, one of the ways that you can make money and stuff like that is just by playing like missions with other people. And there's like lots of different game modes. Like, you could be racing cars, you could be flying planes, and in this case, you're playing cops and robbers. But then, so they're saying here that after George Floyd, they like removed the game mode, which is like lame ass virtue signaling in my mind anyway. So that's pretty dumb. But like, because they're saying here, the narrative might be interpreted during a time of heightened skepticism and mistrust of American police. It's like, bro, your whole Grand Theft Auto is the game that's famous for being able to murder cops indiscriminately. Like, what's the issue? Like, if you hate cops, you can just go kill them in this game. Like, Mm. Yeah, yeah. It's a game. Yeah, I know. It's yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. It's weird. And okay, so the thing with Grand Theft Auto 6, right, is from what I understand, is that a large proportion of the development team like quit halfway through making it because of all these changes that they want to make. So this is another reason why people are skeptical that this is going to be bad. It's because yeah, all your de- all your development team leaving and all that kind of stuff. Because it says here that oh no, and the other thing was that they just recently released like a Grand Theft Auto Legacy collection or something. So all of the older games were like remastered, and apparently they like censored them pretty heavily, like removed. It says here that the company removed transphobic jokes from the most recent console release. Oh no, sorry, that's from Grand Theft Auto 5. But they did that with the Legacy remake as well. They removed all these jokes and offensive things and all this stuff. They removed like a Confederate flag from some dude in Vice City, which is a bit lame. Like he's supposed to be like a very, from a southern guy or whatever. But and it says here too, the the company have significantly narrowed its gender pay gap, like that bullshit again. I know, it's so stupid. Not even a real. It's not like the gender pay gap is a totally misrepresented anyway. It never. It could there could be a gap for a good reason, and a lot of the time it is for a good reason, like how many hours are worked and all sorts of things. But yeah, yeah. Look, that stuff I don't want to go into anyway. But and then it says here the new game will include here we go, a female protagonist for the first time. The woman will be Latina, one of a pair of leading characters. Okay. Oh, okay. So it says influenced by the bank robbers Bonnie and Clyde. Okay, look, that totally makes sense then, right? You have a man and a woman character, and they're like a couple, and you can play as both. And yeah, that sounds cool. But then it says developers are also being cautious not to punch down by making jokes against marginalized groups, in contrast to the previous games. Yeah, yeah, I know. And this is the game that's famous for making like gangster games, like games where you play as like gang members. And you, yeah, I know. Oh, actually, that's the other thing. You can actually play as a woman in GTA 1, from what I understand. I mean, it's not really the same thing. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, but technically, so yeah, it's supposed to be a satirical depiction of America. So where you're gangsters that kills you just kill anyone you want, and it says where women are mostly depicted as sex objects. I don't really know what that means. Like a lot of the time, women just have nothing to do with the game. Like you're busy murdering people and all sorts of other shit, doing missions. Video game. Like what the fuck? I mean, you can hire prostitutes and stuff, sure, but like that's kind of just like a novelty. It's not really a main part of the game. True? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good part. Good point. But it's supposed to, yeah, and that's that thing too, is they actually make fun of everyone. Like there's cringy like right wingers on the radio shows, and then liberal politicians and everything. They actually make fun of everyone. And so, and this is like the same story as like Blizzard that they're going with now too. That like Rockstar has been sort of uh they're trying to remove all of the toxic workplace culture, drinking, brawling, and excursions to strip clubs. I mean, look, obviously when this game started it was like a boys club. I totally get that. But then again, like we said, whenever something goes mainstream it always gets sort of censored and stripped back. Oh. Okay. Well, the reality is, it's all probably just super nerds anyway. Like, oh no, okay, this is what I love too. This is another thing that's ridiculous here. It says the company was an early symbol of an industry-wide problem of long hours at the office, known as crunch, in which staff were expected to be at their desks many nights and weekends in order to keep a game on schedule. Look, I'm fucking so sick of hearing these fucking beta nerds complain about the crunch. Have you never worked a fucking real job in your life? When I worked in construction, man, yeah, some weeks you'd be doing 40 hours, whatever, the normal shit. But then sometimes shit had to be fucking done. And they were like, you're doing 80 hours this week. That would fucking happen all the time. And these fucking nerd losers are acting like it's so hard to sit at a fucking computer and do coding and programming and whatever and all that shit. Like, bro, get a fucking life, man. You try doing 100 hours in construction, like so many fucking people do, and then you can complain about this crunch bullshit. It's like, it's just sometimes. I'm sorry. Sometimes in jobs, yes. Look, sometimes in jobs, man, you're gonna have to work heavy, lots of hours. And the thing was, when they would do the crunch, they would get a massive bonus when the game was released. That was kind of the trade. It's not like they were doing all these extra hours for nothing. They were rewarded. And that's the thing. That's the reality of fucking life. Is sometimes you're gonna have to dig in and work hard in order to get things released when they're supposed to be. And it's just so pathetic, man. All these people complaining about like, oh, they make us work too many hours. And it's like, dude, do you know how much money you can make by doing overtime? Like, it when people like complain about the 40-hour work week and they want to reduce it to like 30 hours. And I'm like, sure. Like, you can work 30 hours if you fucking want, but I want to be successful. So I'm going to work more hours. You can work 30, I'll work 50 because then I make more fucking money. Like, it's just so stupid, man. What the fuck is wrong with people? They just want to be lazy and do nothing. I don't understand. Oh, yeah, I've heard this, right? I've heard this thing. I've heard that, right? I don't know how true that is. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical because what if you were just up all night playing video games? And then you like sleep at work and they're like, oh, yes, very good job. He's working hard. Like, what the fuck? I don't know how much I buy that. Like, but but you did bring up business, right? And look, these people who work in business, uh, dude, a lot of them are doing 100 hours a week. It's like a meme. It's like a meme where you're in big business, you're a CEO, you like neglect your entire family and do 100-hour work weeks and shit like that. And these fucking little pathetic nerds are complaining about a seasonal crunch period. Like, dude, fucking get over it. Everyone's so like weak and pathetic. I don't know what it is. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, look, man, dude, like, if you think you're going to get ahead in life by doing the bare minimum, you are so fucking mistaken. That's the thing. Like, the people who can put in a fucking shift and work themselves to the bone. I know this is not what everyone wants to hear, but those are the people that are fucking successful, man. Like, for real. Okay, so anyway, got a bit heated there. But so since this since this outcry, Rockstar has attempted to reinvent itself as a more progressive and compassionate workplace. According to interviews with more than 20 people who worked there or left recently, all of whom requested anonymity because they weren't authorized to speak publicly. So, like I said, 20 people who work there or have left recently. So people are leaving, man. Like they're trying to reinvent themselves as a look. Oh, so are we going to progressively and compassionately commit mass murder in your fucking game? Like, how does that work? Oh, but from what I understand, that's not the first time Saints Row has had a female character anyway. They've kind of been like that. Saints Row is just like an even more absurd version of Grand Theft Auto. Like I played one Saints Row game where you're like killing demons and shit like that, and you have like wings and you can like fly around and stuff. Like what? Okay. Oh yeah, that's game. Oh man, I really miss Grand Theft Auto soundtracks, man. Like that that's one thing that sucked about 4 and 5. The soundtracks were not good. Well, they were okay. Like, but it's not like the GTA San Andreas soundtrack or Vice City or those were wicked, man. I love throwback. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, that's a good song, bro. Okay, I'm gonna fucking go off again. Because look, it says here, the studio was built on a culture of 7-day work weeks. Founder who left after 8 years, blah blah blah. The culture is games like Red Dead Redemption and Max Payne 3 required what some employees refer to as death marches. Like, okay, fuck up. Oh my god. It says months of mandatory 14-hour day. Bro, seriously. Go out and get a real fucking job and then you'll see that this is just normal. Like there's so many people out there doing 14-hour days, 7 days a week, man. Like mm, yeah, death. Like that's I know. Like how dare you even make that kind of comparison? Like, and again, yeah, 14-hour days, blah blah. It says the team working 100-hour weeks to finish the game. But yeah, look, that's not the entire time anyway. There is it is completely reasonable to have a period where like yeah, you do have to fucking go hundies. You have it's crunch time. You have to actually work ridiculous in order to get it out on time. That's that's why you have deadlines, and deadlines are important for that reason. Like and like I said, in construction, this is just totally normal. It's look, I'm not saying it's necessarily good. Maybe you're just not cut out for it. Like that's the thing. And look, okay, I'll have some sympathy. Maybe, maybe they, maybe there shouldn't be such a demand for games to be mass produced in the way that they are. Like, I mean, usually the one of the cool things about GTA is it doesn't come out every year. They make one every 5, 6, 7 years or so, and then they're really, really good. So like, it it's just pathetic, man. See, like maybe you're just in the wrong industry then, man. I don't know. And like it's that again, I think that the pay structure in some situations was like they were like salaried, so maybe they weren't getting paid extra for the hours, but they would get a massive bonus when the game would come out. That was sort of the way it worked out. So like, well, I think that they'll change it, and then like, is it going to get to the point where they're just going to be like, no, it is illegal to make your employees work more than 40 hours? And then I'm like, but what if you want to? What if you want to do it? What if you want to do 100 hours a week because you get 100 times your hourly rate, you know? What if you want to make bank? I think you've cracked it, dude. That's why all of these games are releasing like unfinished games that you have to buy the DLC for in order to finish the story. Because like they made it to the release date and we're just like, all right, we'll just release what we've got so far and release the rest as a DLC. Hmm. Okay, so let's wrap this up anyway because yeah, that's sad. But okay, so you see that they're including changes to scheduling, uh, converting contractors to full-time employees. Well, from what I understood, if you're a contractor, that's when you get paid an hourly rate. So, like, if you're doing 100 hours as a contractor, you get paid for all of those hours. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. When you're a full-time employee and you're on a salary, that's when they usually fuck you. So, I don't know what. Yeah. And, oh, God, they bring it back to George Floyd here, a black man who was murdered by police officers. If you had forgotten, like, they would. What? The company said it would match donations to Black Lives Matter charity. Oh my god. So now they're going to donate so more Marxists can buy mansions? Is that really like what we want here? Called Flexi Time. Staff can immediately take time off for every extra hour they work. Aw. I wish I had that. What about like when you work for yourself and like you literally work every day? Every minute of every day. Okay. Well, anyway, maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Like, sure, they can recalibrate their uh, employee management. Sure, maybe that's probably a good thing. That could fix some things, hire some more staff, and all that kind of stuff. Fine. But then it's all the other stuff that they've piled in here as well too. Like, okay, so look, so in summary, I understand why people are paranoid that Rockstar is going to be the next company to, um, bow to the woke mob kind of thing, right? But I need to see something more conclusive. I need to see Cringe gameplay. I need to see the ridiculousness of it first. So we'll see. I don't wanna be all too negative on it yet. Hey, look. What? Oh, it's your favorite. It's your favorite top. It's your favorite segment of Bloomberg, my man. You just know it is. Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, okay. Let's move on. Let's wrap this up. Let's fire through. Let's burn through this last article and get the fuck out of here. Okay, so this is the one that you sent to me, and I haven't even actually read this article, but it's just the headline. The headline did it for me. Why is it why is it always coming from this place of like grandstanding? That they always seem to have this fucking attitude, like, because what it says, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has a non-binary character, and you need to get over it. It's like I'm already over it, dude. I don't give a fuck. Like, what the who reads this stuff? Oh man, well, but like, who is this article for? How many people out there actually want to read an article? Who would want to read this article, like, seriously? Like, we're like hate reading it, right? But are there people out there? Yeah, are there people out there that actually like take this seriously? Like, people want to read about why they're a piece of shit. So games are changing, and we're leaving bigots behind. Um, not a day goes by where I don't stumble upon something that convinces me that video games were a mistake entirely. It's a medium like no other, where small vocal minorities of notable bigots are happy to harass developers, belittle any representation beyond straight white men, and send me death threats on Twitter whenever they disagree with. Yeah, you got a bit personal there, didn't you? Well, that's actually what I think a lot of these articles are. It's just like someone was mean to me, so I'm gonna act like it's all of society's fault. You know? Well, look, it's definitely inducing something, but I don't know if it's cringe. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's like, well, they're the wrong people to make the game. Yeah, and so no longer dramatic moments watered down by sex jokes, whatever. What? Don't be mistaken. I adore this game and how unapologetically horny it tends to be. Well, doesn't fucking it doesn't fucking sound like it, right? Like, how do you so quickly fucking like be a hypocrite in 2 sentences? Yeah, that's so. Right wing fans of anime titties. I like how it's even spelt like the meme way as well. Like, so right wing fans of anime titties are convinced that some form of woke agenda is responsible for censoring their underage anime girls as developers decide to either alter said games or avoid releasing them altogether. Like, well, it's pretty weird to label it. So only right wing hentai fans. Yeah, yeah, completely. Like, well, but the other thing is like, if if it's not some kind of woke agenda, what what is responsible for censoring that stuff then? Like, what aren't they? Isn't aren't the woke people the ones that are complaining that all of this stuff is wrong? Yeah, but yeah, but but this is so weird. But then, like, it says here that franchises like Xenoblade Chronicles are allegedly being watered down in response to sensitive snowflakes like me, decrying their very existence. And they're saying it's a load of nonsense. But didn't you say, you literally said earlier up here that the fan service is cringy? Like, mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Yeah, and well, okay, controversial statement, but even little kids like titties. Like, don't you think? Like, I don't know, they seem to enjoy them. What can I say? Yeah, but yeah, but anyway, yeah, I totally agree. I'm not the lolly shit is obviously disturbing. That's fine, and there's good. There's a that's for a different reason. It's not just when it's fully grown woman. It's a completely different thing. And blah blah blah. This person's complaining like, I swear I'm not woke, but I still want to fucking get rid of all this bad shit. Um, so Wait, that's oh. Oh wait, so they're only doing this in the American version. That's so weird. Like, because man, that makes pronouns seem completely worthless. Like, if you know, if it probably never even comes up once, but then it's like they're just trying to score woke points by they change nothing and then just claim that they've done this woke thing. Um, sorry. Oh, sorry. Finish your thought. Oh yeah, yeah. Change it. Make it slip their agenda in there. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Hey, look, I was totally right here. I said it isn't a big deal and isn't even referenced by anyone as part of the story. So then why the fuck do it? Like it's again, now it just feels like it definitely is just a virtue signal. It's just like, look, we met our non-binary quota. We're diverse. But yeah. And okay, what are they saying? They're saying here that I had a hunch they may have been non-binary after. Uh, what they're trying to say that this character here, this obviously female character, is androgynous in appearance. I don't know. Looks like a chick, bro. What do you want me to say? Yeah, that's it's just got the fucking braids in her hair and like I don't know. It's pretty typically feminine. I don't know where, but then it says here, well, yeah, what like you said, while also learning the actor that provides the voice, Lily Hart, which is such a non-binary name, isn't it? Like she has a similar identity and pronouns. Yeah. Oh my god. Well, this person is. I'm just gonna guess and say that this person. Oh, am I getting in trouble for saying this? Like, it's probably just a woman. Like, I don't know. Like, I think that like 99% of not of like they them's are probably either a man or a woman. Do you think I'm out of line for saying that? Like, well, yeah, I don't know. I'm just yeah, like I don't know. It's but is that gonna be a but okay? So is yeah. Well, we talked about this the other day when you talked about how Nancy Cartwright is the voice of Bart Simpson, right? Are we seriously going to hit a point where voice actors also have to match up with the character? Like, it has to be a black guy reading the voice of a black character. It has to be a non binary woman reading the voice of a non binary character. Is that, well, from what I understand, really? Really? Oh. Well, I have heard that it's actually very common that women voice like young boys. That's pretty normal in voice acting because well, it's very hard for well, a woman's voice is more similar to a child's voice of either sex, but a man's voice is a lot deeper, and very rarely will it be similar to a young boy's voice. So I think like it's pretty normal for women to do those voices anyway. So um blah 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 blah, transphobia, etc. etc. LGBT LGBTQ plus people exist in Japan, and so do politics. Oh, that's fun. Um, blah 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 blah. It's actually the funny thing is that there's been plenty of non-binary, like androgynous, whatever characters in anime, and it was never a big deal. Like they were there, and they didn't have to write a huge fucking article about why they're so amazing for including them. They were just decent. They were just decent characters, and they didn't have to fucking ram it in your face. Integral to their character. Mm, yeah. They keep saying that this. They keep saying that this chick is androgynous. Androgynous appearance. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's a chick, bro. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, man. They don't even know what androgynous means. Like, okay, from what I understand, like androgynous is actually a very specific thing. So androgynous is when so you have so the idea is like you have masculinity and femininity, right? And so you could be hyper masculine, right? So a very manly man, or you could be hyper feminine, a very feminine woman, right? But androgynous is maximum masculinity and maximum femininity. So it's not like, because then you think non-binary would be the opposite. Non-binary would be zero masculinity and zero femininity. So androgynous is actually a very specific thing. She would have to be hyper masculine and hyper feminine, and I'm not really getting that from here. I'm getting full feminine, but she's wearing a suit of armor, like, and that's not, you know, it's not the same thing. Yeah, well, because where androgynous sort of came about was people like David Bowie, who, he's a very masculine, tall, big guy kind of thing, but then he would dress in like women's clothes and wear makeup and things like that. So that's sort of where the androgyny thing comes from. But I mean, he was a man. He was still a man. He was an androgynous man. I don't think he ever fucking identified as not being a man. So it's kind of fucking stupid ass. In fact, the reason why he called himself David Bowie, he's named after a Bowie knife, right? Is because he wanted to sound tough. It's like he wanted to sound tough and masculine, so he called himself David Bowie, like David Knife. Yeah. All right, here we go. Blah blah. I'm a pansexual trans girl and will always celebrate representation, no matter how small. So there you go. Look, that's more what I think this is. This article was just written by somebody who has a worldview because of who they are, and they're just going to project that worldview onto everyone and all that stuff. And then they go, I'm so awesome because I win the Oppression Olympics and I have the most diverse opinion ever. So listen to me, I'm more politically correct than you. Yep. Right. Well, that article was hilarious. Yeah, yeah. But oh god, like, is this where we're at these days? Like, okay. All right. Well, that's all the articles. Suppose we just wrap it up then, eh? You all good? Yeah, good to get through some weekly gamer cringe. That's what I called the stream. It was cringe of the gamer cringe of the week. What do you mean? We'll work on it. We'll Yeah. Okay. We'll work on the title. We'll try to come up with something interesting. All right. Well, we'll wrap it there anyway. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. If anyone actually did, all good. All right. Okay. See you later.